example of one account, right? That is actually running 4 different bridge instances. And you'll notice like this top bridge right here, this is actually our agency for iBluSend. So somebody goes to the website, they start communicating with our AI chat. It will actually chat over this device, okay? So think of each account as like a pairing. So I have my iPhone and I have my GHL account, or I have a pairing that has my GHL account and 7 iPhones. That's how you can configure it in our system. It's really lovely. So like right here, you know, we're looking, and I've got this button for the slides. It's reminding me to interact. I gotta do that. So we've got 4 devices. We have sender cap of 75 for each. We have all these cool things like fleet health, fleet warm up, device management, GHL connection management. We can see all those right here. These are all multiple GHL accounts. Really pretty platform too. I will say that our design team did a great job on simplifying it. We went through several iterations. We're changing things all the time because really our ultimate goal is ease of use. We want it to be easy for users. And so our system works, natively with our app and our macOS app. It all talks to each other and it talks to the phone. So you're syncing 3 ways. You can use the phone normally. That's a big thing that you don't get with hosted infrastructure, is literally being able to use the phone normally. And everybody at iBluSend, we all have our own phones and we can see these messages coming across, and the VA can actually get in there and look at the messages in Highlevel, and everybody sees it. Everybody knows what's going on. Okay. So like we got so many features in our platform. I'll show you the dashboard. Let's just look over the dashboard. Recently, our team went through a full overhaul of the dashboard. And one thing and this is Zoom. Let's just go ahead and refresh this. Refresh. Thank you. So always fun here whenever we're doing a Zoom display. For whatever reason, it crashes everything. But when we get into our dashboard here, it's a bring your own API key configuration in our system. So you can bring your OpenAI key, your Gemini key, your Anthropic key, whatever you want to use. And we have full platform sentiment analysis. So it looks at every contact, looks at all the conversations, looks at the emojis, looks at any of the notes, and gives you a full picture of any missed opportunities in our system. And all you gotta do is just plug in your own API key, and you can use that in our system, okay? You can also buy usage through us, but we recommend you just set it up and have the base cost for whatever your AI service is preferred, okay? So this dashboard is awesome. It tells you everything that's going on. And again, you can embed this dashboard directly in Highlevel, which is really fun, okay? And then again, you can actually embed custom dashboards into our dashboard, like I mentioned before, and then you can embed that dashboard into your custom solution or your HubSpot or your Highlevel, because you can embed these dashboards like that. So pretty cool. The account management, super easy. So let's just look at this agency account one, and you can just manage connection. We also have bridge alerts. So like if for some reason you had a power outage or something like that, by the way, we have recommendations for that. Just get one of those $50 backup batteries for your Macs, and put one for your Macs, and then have one for your router. And if you're running something like any kind of internet service really, but like fiber optic, if your router's still on, you'll still have internet when the power's out everywhere else, and your Macs will still be running, and there'll still be a network connected. So really easy little solutions that you should have in your home anyway, whether you have iBluSend or not. So that way when your power goes out, you can still watch YouTube, because that matters, especially for your 8-year-old, that matters. Okay, moving on. All right, so I've got this first connection in here, and this is this phone, and it will programmatically usually find the phone number automatically once it's connected. But naming convention does kind of matter, because it actually shows in a footer in GHL in your conversation string, especially if you have multiple devices and you have a sales team. There's a few different ways you can set this up, okay? So you can rotate when device hits cap. So if we're doing cold outbound, right? You can rotate on every first message, which is great for warming process. But really, that's really just to run test messages through your own numbers to different contacts to try to manually warm this up. And we've got some agencies doing some interesting things there. Not our goal to totally figure it out for you, but it's there so you can slowly ramp up the load and warm up those devices. The big one here is rotate by salesperson. And how does this work? So if we're in here, and here, let me just scroll up. For some reason, whenever I'm on Zoom, like it just messes with everything. It's really obnoxious. So we can add another device right here. And basically that's where you could have, one sub account connection connected up to like 10 different devices. And there's lots of little cool features. Like we have custom warm up features for the warm up. And if you turn that on, you'll actually see it in your system. Contact card delivery to phone is one of my favorite features. So let's just say somebody communicates to you on the website. It generates a contact in Highlevel. It actually delivers the VCF card to the phone. So if you are using the phone, you can actually see who you're communicating with and just easily store that contact. And then obviously, if you want to deliver contacts to GHL, you could do that as well. Not as much of a use case for that, but it's just, we had it, so it's there. Future coming, we've got a iOS app in development, and that is for outbound calling for our integration with bottlenecks. So just think verified caller ID. I could download an iOS app and I could dial out from the phone using the iMessage number, using the app, even if I don't have the phone, and I could connect the call that way. And so quite honestly, I think this is much better than the SendBlue solution with FaceTime audio. Listen, when I get a FaceTime call audio from somebody, I think it's just weird. Like, why is this person FaceTiming me? So I'm not sure how effective that truly is. Maybe it is, but it's certainly something down the line we could look at bringing in. I think the key here is the reason we like bottlenecks is because, you got verified caller ID. It's easy to set up, and you can set it up in our system. Okay. And that's under iBluDial. You can also do that just with Highlevel with verified caller ID. That's what iBluDial is. Basically you map it to a lead connector number or a Twilio number. And then when you call, you're actually using the Twilio number, but it's showing the caller ID of the number you're actually calling out from. And that way, if you've been communicating over iMessage, it's showing the same phone number to that prospect, which is super handy. And then you're still getting call logs and everything else inside of GHL or whatever system you're using. So you can actually track those calls and recordings and everything else that come through them. Okay. So really simple setup there, as you can see here. And as far as setting up these devices, this iOS bridge will be coming down the line. But your GHL connection, how easy is this? Okay, so I've got this account set up. I can literally just click connect here and it will connect up to my GHL account, okay, through authentication. We have 2 dedicated native Highlevel apps, actually. So if you white label our services and you're on agency and you want to resell iMessage, we covered this early on. Really 2 business models. You manage the phones for them and you charge them a higher fee, or you let them connect their existing phone to their GHL account and it's all white label under your branding. They don't see anything GHL and you can charge them maybe a little bit less for that. You can set the pricing in our white label settings. So when they log into their portal for their connection, they'll see whatever monthly fee you're charging them, and then you're probably auto-invoicing them from GHL anyway through the billing portal. But the reason we have iMessage Sender versus iBluSend is because it is a gray label, like lead connector. So instead of them seeing iBluSend in their GHL dashboard, they'll see iMessage Sender. We also have 2 versions of the app. So if they install our iBluSend bridge, it'll actually say iMessage Sender bridge. So that way, again, it's all under your brand, but nothing is exposed. So beautiful there. We sync GHL team members here. And as far as syncing team members, this is fantastic for salesperson mode. Goodness gracious, Zoom. Come on. All right, so there it is. So you can see we've got 2 users synced. If we go back to the device, you'll see that we can assign at the device level. And why does this matter? So if I have 10 users in GHL that are salespeople or different users, you can assign those phones to the individual users. Now, this gets really complex because we have the dedicated iMessage symbol, and I'll show you this in GHL. So like when you're in the conversation view and you want to message somebody, if one phone is connected, but there are multiple sales reps, the other user assigned, when they're in their dashboard, will not be able to send through the iMessage channel. And that's on purpose because we don't want other users being able to send through the iMessage channel unless they have an assigned device to them in the system. So if you're planning to set this up for your sales team, get all your devices ready and have them all assigned to the individual sales reps beforehand to just make it a better experience for your team, okay? So I will bring that up now. Now, inside of calendars issues, we have full Google integration with Google Calendars, so events, and you can integrate your calendars, and we have a full calendar view. Again, we have a marketing platform built around iMessage. But if you use none of it, doesn't matter. You're still getting a massive benefit just with your integration with Highlevel. But we sync Highlevel calendars, and part of the reason we sync calendars is we have our own conversational AI builder, and I'll explain why that's so powerful. Because there is something that you can do with it that's just inherently more powerful than just one sub-account connection, and I'll explain why. But one thing you'll note about like workflows in Highlevel, so Highlevel will ignore custom conversation providers. So our team built the stop on response, the workflow send windows. So that way, legitimately, you can set all that up here. And that way, it just doesn't just send all the messages or keep replying. So we built that into the back end of our system, okay? So let's go back to accounts. And I want to show you something. You'll notice that we have bot assignment here, right? So you can actually see that bot assignment. And we have bot assignment at the device level. Why does that matter? Well, if you're inside of GHL, and I don't know if I can switch over here. I'm going to do a new share here. Just a sec. This is the one interesting thing because we got 2 pop-out windows, but like just the thing there gets a little goofy. So let's do a quick new share moment. And we're going to go into a GHL account, and we're going to do this one right here. All right, so we're in a GHL account. And so if we go to our settings here and we go to phone system, and we'll just launch this up. Well, basically, once you set us as the primary conversation provider inside of GHL, then you can use their conversational AI. Fantastic. GHL has built a great system there. But basically, in our system, since we have bot device assignment at a device level, this is where it gets really powerful because you can assign multiple bots to multiple phone numbers instead of just the default phone number in GHL. So it's a big one, but maybe you just want to keep everything in the ecosystem. You can see all of these messages through here with the footers. Everything syncs up, and these are all iBluSend. We have group threads, so you can actually start group threads and see threads inside of GHL, which is rockstar. And then if we get into the actual workflow side of things, we got like a little tester here, so we can show you how some of these workflow actions work. And so real quick, before I show you anything there, let's just search for iBluSend, and you'll see we have all these workflow actions. We have a ton of triggers as well, but send media message. Let's just say I actually want to send a message here, and I've got the file extension, everything set up, so I can actually fire off a workflow with an attached MP3 file that will automatically convert to Opus CAF, which is the Apple Voice Memo format, run through the bridge, and do it all through automations, okay? The other thing you have to be mindful of is with custom conversation providers and custom workflow actions, high level, the if else statements and stuff like that don't work. So we built a lot of cool workflows. So let's just search iBluSend again. And, something I really like is the, there's keyword router, there's sentiment routing. And so we have like a plethora of like all of the positive keywords and negative keywords that our server recognizes. And so you can basically just set up a simple wait for reply on the sentiment, and then just have autopilot with your conversational AI take over. So you don't have to be real complex on what you're building with your workflows, especially with AI these days. but we have all of this built in, okay? It's just built into our system. Even the drip, pay, send, and assign iMessage device, all of those workflow actions are in here. But one of the big ones is this 10 branch, okay? And because if-else statements are widely used across GHL, and the difficulty there is the normal if-else will not work with custom conversation provider workflow actions. So we built our own. It has 10 branches, okay? And so you'll notice if you look at any of these branches, we'll just look at the match types. Look at this, exact match, contains, does not contain, is not. That will cover 99.9% of everything you need to do with an if-else statement. So lots more coming there, but this is the kind of stuff that our team has been building to just really give you full control over workflows with iBluSend. I'm going to draw your attention to one more thing while we're in here. And this one makes me a little sad. So you'll notice that these are 0 execution costs, right, from Highlevel. There's just one that our team just built that didn't fix. You know, it's 1 cent, right? Well, unfortunately, Highlevel in June is discontinuing the beta execution waiver program. So these will have the premium execution costs. This has nothing to do with iBluSend. This is all Highlevel. So I don't care if you're on SendBlue or any other iMessage service, there's going to be the premium execution cost associated with it. So just keep that in mind. It's just where Highlevel is going there. I wish they wouldn't do it. I think they don't need to, especially with all the other things, but I still love Highlevel. I'm not mad at them. It's just that's coming down the road, and we're very upfront with how everything works. But we did so much volume with Highlevel initially, they got us approved for the beta execution program, and I love talking to their developer team. They're awesome. Okay. So we can use it in the conversation panel. We can use AI inside of, inside of Highlevel. We can use the conversational AI with our actual iMessage channel. We can send group threads. And one big one is our software actually allows to send Apple voice memos directly in here. So let's find somebody I actually want to send this to. Let's send it to this one. And we built our own custom app into Highlevel. So you can just click this right here, and then you can record an Apple voice memo right in the conversation panel inside of GHL. So I'm just gonna record this thing, and I'll just click send. Okay, boom, 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 boom. And it's going to send. It takes about 10 seconds. It'll roll through the system, and then you'll see that actual Apple voice memo. I can't stand what Highlevel. Can you please fix the refresh between all and unread? It is absolutely mind-numbing how it bounces around like that. I would love it if you guys would fix that, because you're big enough. You should be able to fix this thing. That refresh is super, super annoying, and I would love it if you fixed it. Thank you. So inside of the dialer, you'll notice iBluDial iMessage caller ID, because once you set up the verified caller ID in our system, walk through, set it up, when you do your outbound, you know that it's active. So we wanted an indicator there. So if I dial a number, it's actually using the iMessage number for verified caller ID. That's all built into our system. We also have a custom menu link in here. So we'll take a look at that. Boom. Switch over to that. There you go. So you've got basically a dashboard here. And if you are on Whitelabel, it'll actually have your branding and all that on the agency. So your sub accounts won't actually see iBluSend. They'll just see your agency branding, which is pretty cool. The iBluDial tester. So this is when we first configure it, basically the call logs and everything else. We wanted a way to actually display the configuration, but it's actually very easy. So if you go into the phone system in Highlevel, right, and we'll just look at that. There it is. Okay, thank you. And we add verified caller ID. That's where you set up the iMessage to the outbound number. And then if you have lead connector numbers, you just pair the verified caller ID with that number, and then you can dial through lead connector or Highlevel using your iMessage number. So very easy to do with Twilio, very easy to do with Highlevel. Again, lead connector is Twilio, so same thing there. But inside of our system, I'm going to bounce back here in a minute because I want to continue showing you some things on the platform. So let me switch this share back over, okay? All right. All right, so we are back. We're back in our system here. And let's see, let's do a new one. I think I shared the wrong. I'm sharing my webinar screen. Oops. All right, so let's find that other window. I think it's here. There we go. We're switching back. There we go. All right. So we're inside of the actual demo here, right? And we're actually looking at this here, and we're looking at the conversation view inside of our system. And so basically all the conversation strings shown here, we have a full contacts management for, full CRM. So you can actually monitor things, opt people out, all that kind of stuff. You can see all the messages. You can actually see the group messages, all that kind of stuff right here in one place. And then you also have a way to actually look at the message logs by the devices, which is really slick here. So you can actually see all the activity on devices and filter down. Makes it a lot easier just to manage your day-to-day if you're using our system primarily, okay? We've already touched on the account management. I will touch on the Blue Bot Builder because, again, you can assign bots at the device level as opposed to in GHL. You have one bot that's assigned to the primary number of the sub account that basically is on autopilot for the entire sub account. Well, what if I have different marketing channels and I want to assign different bots to different phone numbers for different purposes on a button on a website, for instance, right? So, you got a button, send us a text or whatever, right? And you do that. Well, and you can have, 10 bots to 10 different phone numbers, however you want to set that up. We've built this system around the best conversational AI on the market. We have everything that you should have in here, personality, training, tasks, behavior, safety and limits, the AI engine. You can bring your own API key, bring in Anthropic Cloud Sonnet, which is great for conversational AI, and then the booking directly into GHL calendars. So we really want to be standalone. Obviously, you could use Google calendars here as well. So really up to you. More integrations coming down the line there, but you get a system for this crazy cost that we're providing, and then you get benefits like a built-in conversational AI, right? So just keep that in mind. It's really rockstar. I will touch on the sentiment analysis because I think it's a powerful feature. Basically, once you bring your own API key, this will help you find opportunities in your system if you're using our system primarily and you want to make sure that you don't miss anything. There's a lot to show you in here, so I'm not really going to go over much more. And I'd say probably the last thing I want to touch on is the white label setup. So if you're on a white label plan with us, this is great because it gives you the highest API usage, and then there's additional tiers once you go up higher. But this allows you to customize your branding, configure a domain, and then actually create a custom portal to where if you're trying to run the business model of allowing the home services business essentially to connect their own existing phone that they've been using for years, you can do that with our branded portal experience, okay? So let's just look at this. And we went deep on the branding configuration, probably one of the most comprehensive branding configurations. So like right here, we can add light or dark mode, logos, favicon, social share image, and brand colors. So all that's there. Custom subdomain. So, just like Highlevel, it could be portal.youragency.com. And then when they go to that actual site, they will actually see a custom branded experience based on what you configured for them, okay? The login loading screen, so the sign-in page, so the logo that's shown there and the image that's used on the background, remember it's 1920 by 1080. So typically if you're gonna put an image there, you want to make sure that the right side of the image is what's shown. You can play with that, obviously, kind of fun. But it looks amazing, really easy for users to set up, really easy to set up your custom branding. You can adjust the way the dashboard looks. We built that right in. So like if I want to customize my dashboard to actually have emojis or standard icons or no icons, you can do that. We also have the ability to integrate a custom menu link of your choice. So maybe that's your custom app or whatever it might be. And then footer customization. So you can set all that up, your email configuration, because yes, we did integrate with Resend. So you can actually do email campaigns with Resend inside of our platform, just bring your own API key. So pretty cool there. And button color, and this is something new we just rolled out. It's $249 a month, but it gives you increased API usage. And basically, not only that, it lets you fully brand the API endpoint, because right now it's our branded API endpoint URL. If you want to resell this to enterprise level clients, you're gonna have to pay for it because API is something that typically results in heavier usage. And if you're going to do that through programmatic resources, just sign up for our API custom solution there, okay? But the inviting of clients is like rockstar easy. And so I'm just going to give you an example here. So we're going to create a new sub account here, and we're going to call it Whitelabel, right? And you can give it a description. We can select our market. I'll just say United States. This is where I would actually select a Whitelabel client portal. And then you can really pick your business model. Are you going to allow the client to actually configure their own phone, right? Or are you as the agency going to get the phone plan, set it up, and they will never see anything iBluSend? You can do both. By the way, there's full portal management, so you can actually go impersonate your users and see things in their account, help them get configured. Obviously, we're not going to manage that for you. It's Whitelabel. So pretty easy though. Love to be able to actually go in there and manage those different clients. You can set up your brand color. So I'm going to say, I'm going to do self-service, and I'm going to do Whitelabel here, and I'm going to make it yellow, okay? So now we got this new Whitelabel, and you'll notice that it's actually tagged Whitelabel here, okay? And so if we manage this new connection, all you're going to do here, and you'll notice this looks a little different than the normal connection. Basically, you're not going to connect their device, and you're just going to pre-connect their GHL sub account, okay? And the reason being is you're going to invite them to the portal where they can remotely connect their Mac and their iPhone to the system. But you're pre-connecting their GHL account, so when you send them the invite and they connect their Mac, they will suddenly see iMessages capability inside of GHL. And obviously, you're going to use iMessage Sender for this. Some agencies don't care, depending on how they're providing the service. So you can still select iBluSend or iMessage Sender, but for full Whitelabel experience, you're going to select iMessage Sender here, and you're going to click connect. You're going to connect the GHL sub account. And then once you do, you can sync team members, sync calendars, set the workflow settings, all that kind of stuff. And then you can also view the portal here, right? So we already have one. I can see it's right there. And then once you've done that, basically you can come down here to a team, right? And, again, your business model. You're probably, if you're doing this first step, this is salespeople, admin, if you're doing it for your own employees in here, but typically you're just going to invite the Whitelabel client down below. And when you do this, and I can't stand the password thing, let me go back out of it and click it again, it'll go away. You enter their email, give them an actual phone number here, set up their stuff. And once they get invited, it'll actually share their password in the email so they can sign in, and you'll see client Whitelabel and the workspace that you want to assign as Whitelabel. So it already recognizes that there's only one Whitelabel workspace in there, which is on the accounts page. And so whichever configuration you set up for their sub account, you've got this already set up. And then you can enable other features like AI features, iMessage campaigns, the bot builder, if you want to actually give them access to our conversational AI builder. And we call it iMeBot because, again, we want that Whitelabel experience. And then depending on what you want to do, you can actually hide many of the actual features on the dashboard. We want to give agencies a little bit more power to control that. So that's built right in there. You just send the invitation and get this. The client receives it from an email that is iMessageSender.com. So we've got an iMessage Sender version of the bridge. We have email for password resets and all that stuff. That's all over iMessageSender.com. And of course, we've got the GHL integration that is iMessage Sender as well. And the reason we have that, again, is so they don't see iBluSend in the GHL dashboard. So this is by far one of the most comprehensive Whitelabel setups, and it's very easy to do here. So, I try to take the opportunity and do a webinar to explain how powerful the Whitelabel settings are. Now that you've done that and you actually want to customize some of this. So if we go in here and we go into, I think it's under clients. Yep. And so how do we resell this? This explains the business models, just so that way you can kind of, go through the process. Yes, you have to read a little bit, but there's a lot of really good info in here. And, if you're actually trying to do the agency managed setup, goodness gracious, let me scroll, please. Goodness gracious. So you can set the pricing that you want, your users to see in here. And so if you are charging them per month, you can set this up. So in their Whitelabel portal, they're seeing the pricing menus that you want to provide inside of their account in our system under your Whitelabel brand. So you could give it a plan name and give the monthly cost, and they will see that. And, you can kind of see it's kind of explaining, how it should show. But again, they've got a completely different bridge system. We run the updates simultaneously. So pretty amazing stuff there. There are so many more things. I'll touch on just the iBlue dial just real quick because I think that's important. The recent integration was for Telnix. So you can set up your Telnix with verified caller ID, whether you have Highlevel or not. We have a Chrome web extension that allows you to utilize this, and this will be incorporated into the iOS app that's currently in development. Again, our entire web app is mobile friendly already, but I think it's really important to have a companion iOS app. So that is coming. The standard voice lines would be for your GHL integration. This walks you through basically the setup. That's what iBlue Dial is. It's the configuration between Telnix or GHL and how you set up your verified caller ID. It's very easy to do, very easy to set up, and you'll love it. Lots of other great features like pipeline management, our own campaign management. We're actually building a workflow builder that's already fully functional with embeddable forms. We have a live chat for iMessage that's built in. So just a ton of features that are just all side benefits. Again, if you're looking at just the base level of service that you get with us, you're already way ahead. So I'm super excited to have you all in this webinar. I've been talking for a long time. You've had to look at my stupid mustache. So I'm really sorry about that, but I still love you. It's okay. And since I'm going to drop this on YouTube, I'm typically going to stop the recording right here so then I can answer questions for everybody on the webinar and make sure that I'm addressing those. Again, thanks for hanging in here with me. And I love you all. Thank you for joining the iBlue tribe. We love you, and we will keep pushing this kind of content out. There's a ton of tutorials that are going to be coming, but we've been just working so hard on changing things in the platform that they would have already been obsolete. So at this point, we're getting pretty close to just really rocket ship. So again, we love you. Feel free to reach back out. You can hit us at iBluSend.com. That's iBluSend.com. We also own the iBlue, so iBlue send SEND.com. Either way, you'll find us. Thanks so much. Have a great day.